that cricket match. When I walked into Lahore and I walked in and asked for sandals, and the guy refused to take money and said, "Aap hamare watan ke hi hain." But those people are not the people in government. The people in government want a hardened stand. The people in government want their egos to come before solutions. And the India-Pakistan policy, to my mind, has been a classic case of every time we're looking for a problem to every solution. Every time. We just refuse to be logical. We refuse to take history as a learning ground. We refuse to learn from examples that we see today. The most secure, the most economically powerful nation in today's Europe is Germany. The unification came with a lot of pain. But in the end, it has helped unite families. It has helped people live prosperously. I'm not even for a moment suggesting unification, because that in this country would be blasphemous. I'd be immediately branded an ISI agent. And all my life I thought ISI was the mark that I looked for on every toaster that I bought. Until I grew up and realized there were some corny little guys across the border who were trying to kill my people. But that's the reality. So my serious submission is that, I mean, you know, from a logical platform, from a simple mindset, if I can see that the problem is solvable, if Kashmir is an issue, then Kashmir must be discussed at the talks. I mean, for God's sake, he's not going to discuss Krishna's tennis score, or Krishna's not going to discuss Qureshi's new tie. If this is a niggling issue, let's address the issue. We don't want anything but bilateral engagement. We don't want the Americas of the world to interfere, but the Americas of the world are interfering in any case through backdoor diplomacy. If Hillary Clinton is not busy preparing for Chelsea's wedding, she's busy interfering in Indo-Pak relations. We all know that. So can we stop fooling around, and can we actually start working towards a solution? I really don't know, Paranjo, and this is the tragedy. I really don't know who is going to cast that first stone. Because the stones that have been cast by the politicians on both sides have fallen by the wayside. They haven't had any impact, they haven't had any effect, and worse of all, the situation has only worsened, it hasn't improved. Today we are at a stage where the world mocks our growth, it mocks our GDP figures, because we can't even keep our continent in harmony. We don't have a decent relationship with our neighbors. And the same is said of Pakistan. There is religious bigotry on both sides. For our BJP, they have their bunch of jokers as well. Or for our RSS. But the point is, we both know that there are commonalities which are destructive in nature. So the way forward is for actually a people movement, either where the media steps in, but then again the media is too busy with that silly cocaine addict called Rahul Mahajan and his little wife called Dimpy. I mean, with a name like Dimpy, who would she marry but Rahul Mahajan? I hope there are no Dimpys here. But on a serious note, this is what I would recommend. That move the needle, talk about building civilian pressure. Pressure that comes from the people. Because ultimately, the politician is not being impacted. The people are. The politician's family remains united. The people remain disunited. The politician's family remains secure. The people continuously live amidst insecurities of the worst kind. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Suhail. Not only did he